People say they don't make them like they used to. Well, in a lot of cases, that's true. But I found a company that's building a product in much the same way that they did in the 1800s. Some masterpieces of fine craftsmanship, using the best materials, have become icons. The Stradivarius violin, the Fabergé egg, and a handful of others. But what if a company like Stradivarius never stopped production? What if they focused on continuous improvement? What if they trained generations of craftsmen to perfect their instruments? What if they added the newest technology to take the best to a whole new level? Well, I think I found one American company that has done just that. Steinway & Sons is recognized as one of the leading piano manufacturers since its founding in 1853. They've been innovators and won many patents, and focused for 163 years on continuous improvement, creating some of the best pianos in the world. Today I'm visiting with Steinway's President of the Americas, Ron Losby, to learn about how technology is revolutionizing the art of the piano. Today we're visiting the Steinway Piano Gallery in Beverly Hills, and I have the great pleasure to be here with Ron Losby, who is the President of the Americas for Steinway & Sons. So Ron, I know you have a long history with pianos. Where did it start?
Well, just about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from here. I was born in Beverly Hills, and my first experience with a Steinway piano was just about 1.5 miles at my grandmother's house. She had a beautiful Steinway Model O, which is a nice sized grand piano, and I had been taking lessons for a few months, and I couldn't understand why my piano at home, where Mom and Dad were, didn't sound as good as my grandma's piano, which was a Steinway, and mine wasn't. Everything sounded better, and I wanted to play for a much longer period of time because it was a Steinway, because it sounded good. So that was my first experience with this wonderful company.
And even as a young child, how old were you?
I started when I was 6.
When you were 6?
6 years old, yes, and then my teacher had a Steinway as well, and it seemed like the whole world converged, Steinway around me, so I just had to have one in my house, and so at 7 years old, I guess my mother was very tired of hearing me nag her for a Steinway, so we got my Steinway, which I still own today.
You still own it?
Yes.
I was going to ask you that. Oh, that's exciting. Where did it take you?
Well, it took me to the wonderful school called Juilliard School, and also to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, because I wanted to be a concert pianist. That was my overriding dream and goal when I was much, much younger. Now, being a concert pianist is a very difficult profession. And so during that time, to supplement my income, if you will, because I didn't care for teaching too much, I sold pianos at a retail showroom, not unlike the one that we're sitting in right now. And I happened to kind of be good at it. So one thing kind of led to another. And then I ended up working for several piano companies, and about 29 years ago went to work for Steinway & Sons, and have been here ever since. And it has just been a remarkable experience, because not only am I associated with this extraordinary brand, which is known worldwide, and we're a pretty small company, but known worldwide, but I've been able to interface with so many wonderful artists that have become great friends who play the Steinway piano.
Let's take a look back at how they built pianos. We found some great old footage from 1925, which shows how they built pianos back then. First, they inspect the lumber. They stacked it high. Today, the lumber is stored inside. Next, the craftsmen forged the iron plates. This is the beautiful bronze piece of the piano that you see when the grand piano is open. This is the lumber being machined, planing.
But what's interesting about Steinway is that there are so many musicians that work within Steinway & Sons, because they're drawn to this. It's almost like gravity to a planet, because it's all about this wonderful thing called music. And many of us are performers, not just of piano, but of other instruments as well.
And you get to work with some amazing performers too, don't you?
You know, that is one of the biggest blessings. Because of the piano, we have over 1,700 Steinway artists of all different musical genres, from pop to rock, Christian, contemporary, and of course classical music as well. And to be able to interface with those individuals and to get to know them personally has been an extraordinary joy, and just a great opportunity to look into the life of a true artist.
So Steinway has a very rich history in this country. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of Steinway?
Be happy to. It is an American company. It was started in 1853 in New York City, and they were pursuing the American dream. Henry Engelhard Steinweg was a cabinet maker, and he and his sons moved to America, to New York, in the 1840s. And what's so remarkable about their trajectory is that they became the best, the most extraordinary piano builders of the world within about a 10 to 15 year period of time. In fact, these pianos that you're looking at here have over 125 patents that the Steinway company was awarded because of their design. And it is not difficult to imagine, or actually it's not untrue, I should say, to state that the modern grand piano was invented by Steinway and Sons.
Well, Ron, let's talk now about this iconic, legendary brand, Steinway and Sons. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of it?
Well, the two principles that have guided this company since its inception have been innovation and quality craftsmanship. And today that guides us as we build these wonderful pianos, each individually handcrafted, that make the world a better place because they're such extraordinary musical instruments.
Well, the White House is known for having extraordinary things in it, and I understand
Yes.
there's a special piano there. Can you tell us about that, and have you seen it?
I would be happy to tell you, and yes, I've seen it on several occasions. We have built 3 commemorative instruments. The number 100,000th piano, which was in the White House up until 1939 and is now in the Smithsonian Institution. Beautiful piano, gilded case, just extraordinarily beautiful instrument. And that was replaced by the current instrument, which we call the 300,000th piano, which resides in the East Room of the White House. And this is all about American heritage. And the Steinway family wanted to give this as a gift to the American people because the American way of life gave them such a wonderful opportunity for their pianos that they felt that it was necessary to give back in some fashion. And so many hundreds of thousands of people have seen that piano, and it's still being played and used today. But the most exciting thing that we have to speak of today is our number 600,000th piano. It is known as the Fibonacci, and it is an extraordinarily beautiful instrument that is going on world tour as we speak. I believe it's in London at this very moment, and it is only the 3rd piano that we have had as a milestone instrument in our 162-year history.
Well, tell me about the milestone instruments. What do you mean by that?
Well, they're very special. They're concert grands. They take really several years to manufacture. Their cases actually reflect the times in which they were built. If you look at the number 100,000, you can tell that it was kind of probably built in the 1900s, the 1890s. If you look at number 300,000, you can sort of see that, yeah, this reflects the time in which it was built. And of course, the Fibonacci, or the 600,000th piano, if you look at this, you say, this definitely is 2015.
Interesting. I'd love to see those. So Ron, we're here for a very exciting reason. Let's talk about the Spirio.
It is one of the most extraordinary reproducing player piano systems that has ever been in existence in this world. What it does is it combines the beauty of a Steinway piano with high resolution software that measures every single keystroke, up to 800 different gradations of key when the artist plays it. So when it's playing in your living room or wherever you're having this beautiful piano, you're not hearing a recording. What you're hearing is an actual artist performance of the work that they have recorded. It is one of the most extraordinary things because what it does is it reveals the beauty of a Steinway piano for everyone who can listen. So you no longer have to play a Steinway piano to justify owning one, because this becomes a musical and life-enriching experience for the entire family.
Let's go check out the demo of the Spirio.
Well, Kristen, this is the Steinway Spirio. And the only way that you would know it was a Spirio is that this one happens to have an iPad on the music desk. And
yes, it wasn't there when I walked through earlier.
Right?
I couldn't pick it out.
You can't tell from looking. You certainly can't tell. But within this standard iPad, which comes with every Spirio unit, you have an extraordinary library of piano music that's constantly expanding. So every week, there are new songs that are uploaded to the cloud. They automatically, when you turn on your iPad, get downloaded into your specific iPad. So you have almost an unlimited number of songs from all musical genres that you can choose from depending upon the occasion in your home. If it's a birthday, if it's an anniversary, if it's a dinner party, if it's a rock and roll party, whatever it might be, you will find the perfect music to suit the occasion.
You get all the music into the iPad, and how does it work?
It is so simple. It is remarkable. All I do is take my iPad, which comes with the Spirio unit. In the iPad, I have a welcome screen here, and I can curate my own list by my favorites, if you will, my playlists. So I've got my own particular playlist here, which has my favorite songs in it. Or if I want to do something a little bit different, let's say I go back to the welcome screen. Let's say I want Sinatra. I have all of the Frank Sinatra that I could possibly want here. Arlington Jones, if I want some jazz. So you can curate this in any way that you would like to have it curated. And let's hear one of those right now.
That's amazing. It's so fast and beautiful. It sounds amazing.
Well, what's so amazing about it is that it actually reproduces exactly how the performer played on the piano, on the recording piano. So you're really getting not a recorded performance, but you're getting an actual artist performance in your living room.
So I guess if if you were to say, record that exact piece of music with two different people, it would sound different.
Certainly would, just like pianists that record on different pianos and the same piece of music, they're different people, so they have musical personalities that are different, and it will sound somewhat different. So we may have several versions of the same sound or same song that is performed by various different people, and it'll be interesting to see which one you like the best.
It would be interesting.
Yes.
How is this technology will help with education in the future?
Can you imagine, Kristen, whether you're a child or whether you're an adult and you're learning a piece of music and you want to know how it actually sounds like, and your teacher's nowhere around, and you just touch a button and you can hear how it's supposed to be played. That is a tutorial in and of itself, and it allows you, as a former piano teacher, I can say that when I had students that were playing the piano and they make an error, if they make a mistake, and they practice that mistake over and over and over again, it's very difficult to undo it. Imagine the benefit if I have in my iPad, in my Steinway Spirio, the music that I'm learning, and if I have a little question about the rhythm or the sound of it or how it goes, how fast or how slow, I just touch it and play it, and then if nothing else, I will solve any problems that I would have practiced over a long period of time. So I think from an educational standpoint, it is an extraordinary benefit that is going to not only help individuals learn more rapidly, but also make it a lot more enjoyable.
And how can, I read that you can be connected to great artists. How do you see that happening?
Just imagine, if you will, that Diana Krall or Billy Joel or your favorite artist is playing a concert someplace at some moment in time out there, and you want to have it in your living room. Because it's an iPad internet-based system, all you have to do is a touch of a button and you can have Diana Krall in your living room playing for your guests or for you all by yourself. How cool is that? If you don't like Diana Krall, you can have Billy Joel or Long Long or any number of the 1700 Steinway artists that we have. It's really a technology that brings music much more close to home than it ever at any point in history.
Ron, thank you so much for telling us all about the Spirio and the technology behind it. I'm so excited about the future for pianos.
Well, thank you for allowing us to show it to you, and we are just very, very pleased with this new technology, the Steinway Spirio, and it was a delight to show it to you.
Well, thank you so much. Let's go and talk now about how to get me one of these, okay?